Chapter 8, Part 1 of French for Reading. We're going to look at reflexive verbs. So this is a class of verbs. We've looked at transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. Now we're going to look at reflexive verbs. And reflexive verbs, you can identify them from the infinitive. In the infinitive, they all have se in front of it, se lave. And what that basically means is to wash oneself. Se means that you're doing the action to yourself. Now, normally we wouldn't say to wash oneself. We could, but normally we would say something like to wash up. Now it's conjugated, so lave is a regular er verb, but the reflexive verbs, this little pronoun, the reflexive pronoun in front, changes with the conjugation. So it's je me lave, so we've got the me for the je form. Tu te laves, we've got the te for the tu form. Il se lave, elle se lave, on se lave. So we have se as the third person singular regardless of the gender of the subject. Now for nous and vous, we repeat the word, nous lavons. And even though that looks like a typo, it's supposed to be that way, and it's perfectly fine to have the repeated words. So that's we wash ourselves. Vous vous lavez is you wash yourselves, or you wash up. Ils se lavent, they wash up, or elles se lavent. The se stays the same for all the third person forms. Now what do reflexive verbs mean? The first one is to do something to oneself, like se laver, to wash oneself or to wash up. Se taire, taire means to quiet. So se taire means to quiet oneself or to get quiet. Se blesser is, now this is a false friend. It does not mean to bless somebody. It means to hurt. Blesser by itself means to hurt somebody. So se blesser means to hurt oneself. Now it's really important not to get this mixed up. Especially, I was a pastor for 17 years in France, and once or twice I said, "Seigneur, bless ton peuple." Seigneur, injure your people. Not a good prayer. Bénir is the word for to bless, like where we get our word benediction. But se blesser means to hurt oneself or to get hurt. So conjugated, we get things like je me lave, like I wash up. Tu te tais, you get quiet. Il se blesse, he gets hurt. So that's the first meaning. Now the second meaning can be reciprocal action, doing something to each other. And this is only used when there's plural subjects. So if I say nous parlons, that means we speak to each other. We are speaking to us, literally. The nous is the indirect object pronoun. À nous, we are speaking to us. Or we would say we speak to each other. We could have a sentence like elles se connaissent. They, feminine, know each other. They know each other. Now notice here, it's the se represents a direct object pronoun, elle. They know each other, whereas here the reflexive pronoun represented an indirect object, but they have the same form. The third meaning is the passive voice, and we just have to translate it in the passive voice for it to make sense. For example, s'opposer, il s'oppose à cette action. Literally it says he opposes himself to this action. We can't say that in English. We would say he is opposed to this action. Cette conclusion se déduit des données. So this conclusion, déduire, means to deduce. So it'd be literally this conclusion deduces itself from the data. Données is the word for data. It's a past participle of donner, to give, and it's always feminine plural, les données, for data. So cette conclusion se déduit des données means the conclusion is deduced from the data. So we translate se détruit by the passive voice. Now here's a few interesting reflexive verbs. Se lever. Don't get this confused with se laver. Se laver was to wash up, what we saw before. Se lever, it's like the word lever, to lift up. It's literally to stand up, to lift oneself up, to come up, to arise. It's a getting up verb, to lift oneself up. Se déplacer. Déplacer is how you say to move from one place to another. It's not move going back and forth, it's moving from one place to another. And se déplacer is to move oneself, to travel to another place. Another interesting construction is the reflexive verb plus a body part you translate with a possessive pronoun. If I say, je me lave le visage, visage is the word for face, so I wash to me the face, or so that would be I wash my face. Je me lave le visage, I wash up the face. Yeah, I wash my face. So we don't put the my in front of le visage, we put it in the possessive or in the reflexive pronoun. Il se blesse le bras. Now, bras is another false friend. It's the word for arm. So, il se blesse le bras means he injures his arm. So, il se blesse, he injures himself. Le bras is arm. So, he injures his arm. So, here's some exercises. Write out the answers to all of them, and you can check them with the next video.